Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, May 6, 2021. This is special meeting agenda. It's a continuation of our fiscal 22 budget review. Today we feature the prosecutor, brought to us by our prosecutor, Barry McHugh. Attending our commissioners, Duncan, Brooks, and Filios. Do we have any changes to the agenda? None. Proceeding with our first and potential action item, prosecutor budget for fiscal year 22. Take it away, Barry.
Thanks, Commissioners. I think primarily the budget is not changed much from last year, and basically the increases relate to costs associated with the positions that have been requested, whether it's computers or onboarding, association costs, that kind of thing. These are kind of the same positions that I requested a year and a half ago that I didn't get, and so I'm going to continue to try to chip away at the disparity between my office and the public defender's office, and I would just, I'm not going to wear you out with the same arguments I've made before, but just
Sure.
say that my staff's pretty stressed out, and the reality of that situation is weighing more heavily right now than ever with jury trials back on.
Okay.
Just, I guess, for what it's worth, as a side note, we were doing jury trials for about 8 weeks, and then last Friday we got our first notice that jury trials would not be allowed this coming week because of increasing infection rates. So hopefully, and I'm hoping that that was an anomaly and that the infection rate will go down again and we'll be able to keep handling jury trials. We've got a really good system, but the Supreme Court directs that whole thing, and so we're kind of stuck with it until everything gets better in terms of infection rates. So I think with HR, with conversion, with civil, things are pretty flat. If there are any increases, it relates to increased costs for Westlaw, things like that. We've tried to cover those by basically taking money out of the plan.
So can you help me understand some of the changes? I see that there's one prosecutor and one legal assistant, right? So just two bodies.
Yeah.
And then the other things that you're asking for is some conversions.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, so, probably a year and a half ago, converted an AT2 to 2 part-time positions with the idea that we had an intern who we wanted to be able to pay for her time until she graduated, takes and passes the bar, and that will be hopefully September. She'll be having had completed the bar exam, and then we'll be able to put her on in a full-time position. Obviously, there's a gap of time in there we're going to have to cover, but the conversion will be effective October 1, and then the other is the AT3 that we converted just recently to fund a couple part-time positions, temporary positions. So again, that'll go back to a full-time AT3 position effective in the new fiscal year. So there are positions that were already approved. To the extent that there are increases, it's because of the fact that we weren't utilizing all the money that had already been approved for those positions.
Okay, so for new positions, I just want to go through this once again. You're adding a legal assistant, deputy prosecutor, is that correct?
Correct.
And then we have conversions, part-time to full-time for an AT2,
Correct.
Convert
full-time to an AT2,
because it was a temporary
convert
position.
to, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was the one that we just brought before the board while you were gone.
Okay, so that'll just convert when they change
Right.
the payroll system.
And the conversion to a full-time AT2, I presume that person is currently part-time?
Well, we have somebody who's working through the summer. It's a different person because Monica, who's the person we are going to hire, is taking the summer off to study for the bar exam.
Okay.
So, to be more correct, I guess.
Okay, so the conversions really wouldn't have happened if we hadn't approved what we approved a couple weeks ago? Is that my understanding?
One of the conversions wouldn't have occurred a couple weeks ago. The other one occurred, it's been a year and a half, I think.
Okay, so we're just going back to what you had had in the past.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, correct. Positions that the board previously approved that I was adapting to the needs of the moment, I guess.
All right. Bill, any questions?
Yeah, you've never had a deputy before? Deputy prosecutor?
Have I what?
Had a deputy prosecutor before?
Well, I have many deputy prosecutors.
Well, you say you want a deputy.
Oh, I think you're thinking in terms of like a chief deputy?
Yeah,
You don't,
Yeah,
Is
you
that
have
what
two.
you're talking about?
Yes,
I have a
two.
chief deputy and
two.
I have a criminal chief.
Okay, in each civil and criminal?
No, my chief deputy is in criminal, and then I have a criminal chief, or a criminal chief. I don't have a chief
For civil.
You know, when Barry Black left, that was the point of me moving over here, basically, physically, and assuming some of the responsibilities that had been on his plate at the time that he retired.
okay. So when I look at, yep, let me just, next time I'll bring it. Yeah, the increases, okay, so the major increase, okay, so your overall increase is 725,000. Fiscal 21 versus 22 proposed. And that's coming primarily in personnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really understand, frankly, I don't really understand that number.
I don't, yeah, I'm kind of
Two-
struggling with it
A
too.
secretary and a legal assistant shouldn't be close to that, even if you add the even if you add
The
the
conversions?
It's about
I'm not clear
328.
how you make up.
It's about 328,000.
Yeah,
Dena?
Prior year adopted to now, we had a COLA. So,
Oh.
starting salaries from last year, when we adopt the budget, all of that COLA and raise money is sitting in the BOCC. So we amend the budget, and then the new salaries, that is considered an increase. So you're looking at the raises in 2021 as an increase. So that's added in there as well, and that's why it looks that way.
So that COLA money wasn't in the FY21 adopted.
It wasn't
was
in your
added.
budget, it was in the BOCC.
oh, okay, so how much,
That's driving that.
I'm sorry.
So 328 is his,
Is hit, that's your increase?
yes, approximately.
Okay. And the balance, Dena, you're saying is in our BOCC budget?
Yeah, if you're just looking year over year,
Uh-huh.
adopted to proposed, you're gonna see that extra from the COLA and raises.
There it is.
So in general, his budget is flat except for people costs associated with justice fund side of things.
Which is the 328.
Right, which is personnel plus associated costs, equipment, licenses.
So then BOCC should show a reduction of the 300,000 in, no, go ahead.
In total, it's kind of a wash,
Okay.
but when I had Michelle pull these, she just pulled at the very topmost level, so you're not seeing
Okay.
the subtleties of
Yeah,
that.
because you're bringing that over just the same. Right,
So
we,
if we looked at amended versus,
yes,
then it would be different, but we were trying to go apples to
Right,
apples.
adopted.
proposed, adopted. Okay, I see where you're going. Okay, okay,
It's the same.
okay. I got it. Any other thoughts?
Nope, if we can accommodate, we will, but right now, we're 9.5 million over, so.
And no verdict yet, right? From the
Yes, they
legislature?
passed it, but the governor has not signed it.
Governor hasn't signed it yet, okay.
Yep. So,
It's the legislation that we anticipate, right?
I haven't read it. I'm hoping so.
I think that's it,
Hoping
but
so, yeah. Dena, did you have a chance to read it? No, okay.
and it's what, 389? Is that the
Yes.
number, 389?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else? Go ahead, Barry.
There's probably been an agenda or a schedule or whatever, but what's the next step?
Next step is if we choose to examine your budget for cutting, we'll invite you to a deliberation.
It'll be a deliberation.
And that won't be until June. We start deliberation in June.
So this month, we basically go through everything. We've been through our departments. We've done the initial pass with our, whatever it is, 17. So we've now met with you. Who did we meet with? Carlene, District Court yesterday. And so we have the rest of the EOs for the balance of the month. And then we go into deliberations, and that's where we do the, well, we won't be adding, so I guess that's where we'll be cutting. And again, depending on what's available, but. There you have it.
So I'll just point this out since we're here. We're looking at approximately 129,000 increase in revenue. So essentially, it's
So you're
about
offsetting.
$200,000. Is that okay to look at that way? The revenue for, it says the solid waste for HR legal services?
Yeah, so we do, solid waste pays out to departments for internal services.
Okay,
here.
okay.
So that's why you're seeing those, interfund transfers in there, that just helps offset the cost
Sure.
for services that are provided to them by various departments. So there's one for HR and there's one for prosecutor.
Okay.
That's where we are. Yours doesn't look too bad, Barry. We have one that's accounting for half of the overage. One. You can guess which one.
Same one every year.
Absolutely.
Well,
And that's scheduled for Monday, if you care to attend.
I would just ask you to keep in mind that a couple of years ago, the board, I can't remember if it was you guys, decided, made the decision to staff the public defender at the point that they are.
Step up what?
To,
Made the decision to staff the public defender at the
Okay.
level that they're at.
Okay,
Now, granted, a chunk of that was free money,
yeah, the 1.5 mil, yeah.
but, you know, I think there's an obligation to make sure that, you know, it's fair. And I'm seeing more and more that disparity weigh on my staff. And it's already, you know, our challenges are significant enough. We don't need to be fighting an uphill battle with 8 fewer attorneys.
How many open positions do you have right now?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, really, the only 2 positions are the ones that were converted to part-time, which I will then fill in September. But obviously, both of those I've staffed with people to basically
Bridge that gap.
bridge that gap. And so it's very difficult for me to explain to my staff why this exists and why the board refuses to equalize the labor force when they're working really hard, and they do work hard. And so, just ask you to keep that in mind.
Fair enough. Understood. Okay. Thank you. Public comment? None. 2:17, meeting adjourned. Thanks.